Hi, I'm Kathleen Perry. I'm a vocal coach, voice builder, voice teacher. I've been in this business for about 30 plus years, and today I have a vocal tip for you. And that vocal tip is to read. And by that I mean read biographies. Read biographies of the artists that have made it in this business, music industry, what it took for them to get where they are, and their influences. And by doing that, you'll learn a lot more tips than you could ever imagine. One of my favorite books is Miss Aretha's biography, and it was written by her and David Ritz. And I'd like to read you a little passageway of something that I learned from this book. It says, "The gospel circuit made me road savvy. After long drives, I learned to hang my clothes in the bathroom, turn on the shower, steam out the wrinkles if I could not get pressing, and be ready for the early Sunday morning pre-service broadcast." And I tell you, I used that one a lot when I was on the road in Europe and I couldn't find some place or couldn't speak the language and get my clothes pressed. I would definitely do that. Put those clothes in the shower and get those wrinkles out, because you got to go on stage. You can't, you have to do what you got to do, what you got to do. Another one of my favorite biographies is one of Frank Sinatra. And it's Frank Sinatra Behind the Legend by Randy Taraborelli. And I'd like to read you a little bit out of this one. It says, "During that time," Frank remembered, "I was singing for $2 a night at club meetings. I sang at social clubs and at roadhouses, sometimes for nothing or for a sandwich or cigarettes, all night for 3 packs. But I worked on one basic theory," he recalled: "stay alive. Get as much practice as you can." And man, is that so true. When you're first starting out, you got to do whatever it takes. If someone asks you to sing, never refuse. I don't care if it's 2 people. Always make sure you're ready to sing. Be prepared. By looking at one of my other tips, you'll see what I'm talking about that when I say that. Be prepared and sing. Always sing when you're asked to sing. If you're a singer, you gotta sing. Okay? All right. One other tip. Let's see. From Sassy. This is her biography. Sassy is Sarah Vaughan. That's what they used to call her. The Life of Sarah Vaughan by Leslie Gorsk. And this one says she's talking about B, or Billy Eckstine. B is what she called him. She says, "B would recall that, as Sarah did, he learned many aspects of technique, phrasing, intonation, and independent imagination, and improvisation, the power of vibrato, plus the basics of music, rhythm, and harmony from the horn players at a time when music was becoming more complicated." That was during that bebop era. So yeah, and I myself did the same thing. I would go to jazz clubs throughout San Francisco and just sit there for hours and listen to horn players and see how they would take a tune, play it straight through, maybe the first time, and then take it and come back and change it and turn around and come back to the same place. It's as if you were riding in a car and you were, there's a straight way to get to that place, that store, but then you decide to take a little jaunt around and come back to the same place. That's what improvisation is. It's almost like, if you want to look at it, it's almost like harmonizing with yourself. Improvisation. You hear the melody in your head and you try to sing around that, the straight melody. Okay? For example, let me sing something for you. I'll do Autumn Leaves. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves I used to know. I see your face, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to know. Okay, now I'm going to going to just take a jaunt around and come back to that, try to come back to that same melody. Bo bo wee ba ba do do dee la bo bo wee ba do dee ba do do dee da bo do do dee da 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 do bo wee ba do 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 bo wee ba bo wee. I used to know. So I just want to round it, and I always have that melody in my head. The falling leaves, bum bum, wee ba, just by my window, ba ba do wee ba, do do ba do 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 dee dee. So you see, and so things that I learned, the same kinds of things that these artists went through in these books are the same kinds of things that I went through. And maybe if you read some artists that you admire, you might find some of the things that they say you've gone through. And you find there's a lot of common ground among singers. And you'll learn something new as well. Same thing when you go to see an artist live. Take in what they're doing. See what they're doing on stage. Observe. How are they breathing? How are they articulating? How are they holding the mic? Same thing you can learn by reading a book. So your tip today, vocal tip today, is to read. Read. Okay. And if you'd like more vocal tips, please go to my website, www.KathleenPerry-DVD.com. That's K-A-T-H-L-E-E-N, P as in Paul, E-R-R-Y -DVD.com. Thank you, and watch out for the dream killers.